Today, we're going on a journey to a city that's woven into the very fabric of human history. We're talking about Bethlehem.
You see, Bethlehem isn't just some place on a map. For thousands of years, it's been a beating heart of history, a cradle for faith, and a symbol of humanity's deepest stories. So let's get into it.
To really understand Bethlehem, we've got to go way back, long before the images we all know today. Archaeologists have found that people were living here as far back as the early Bronze Age. We're talking the 3rd millennium BCE. And it wasn't some isolated little village either. It was part of a whole network of civilizations in ancient Canaan.
And you know what's really fascinating? The name itself, Bethlehem. In ancient Semitic languages, it translates to house of bread or house of meat. And that's not just some pretty sounding name. It's a direct clue to the city's identity. It tells you that right from the beginning, Bethlehem was known as a place of abundance, a fertile land that could sustain its people.
So this reputation as a place of sustenance, well, it builds into something even bigger. Bethlehem's star really began to rise in Jewish tradition when it became known as the birthplace and hometown of one of the most important figures in the Hebrew Bible, King David. Having King David as a native son, that was a total game changer. It completely transformed Bethlehem's status. Suddenly, it wasn't just a fertile town anymore. It was the origin point of the royal dynasty in Jerusalem. This elevated it into a city of divine promise, a place absolutely central to future prophecies and the religious identity of an entire people.
And then, the single event that would redefine Bethlehem for all time, the birth of Jesus Christ. This one moment turned a small Judean town into a global spiritual destination for, well, millions and millions of Christians all over the world.
Fast forward about 400 years, and that faith gets set in stone, literally. Empress Helena, who was, the mother of the Roman Emperor Constantine, she commissioned the construction of the Church of the Nativity. And it was built directly over the grotto where the birth was believed to have taken place, creating a physical anchor for a spiritual revolution.
And this church, it's just a perfect symbol of the city's complex character. It's not just some ancient building, it's a living testament to coexistence. You see, for centuries, it's been co-managed by different Christian denominations. It's a unique and, let's be honest, often challenging arrangement that really reflects the city's long history as a shared and sometimes contested sacred space.
So this idea of coexistence, of different groups sharing this one sacred space, that theme just keeps going as empires rise and fall. Let's take a look at how Bethlehem navigated centuries of change under different rulers, from the early Islamic caliphates all the way to the huge Ottoman Empire.
You can really see the layers of history piling up on this timeline. After becoming central to both Judaism and Christianity, a whole new chapter for Bethlehem kicks off in the 7th century with the arrival of Islam.
When the Caliph Omar ibn al-Khattab comes into the picture in 637, he does something really important. He establishes this crucial precedent of respecting Christian holy sites and protecting Christian communities. This policy meant that pilgrimages could continue, weaving yet another layer into the city's incredible tapestry of interfaith relations.
And this continues for centuries, right through the Mamluk and then the Ottoman eras, which lasted for 400 years. Bethlehem really solidifies its identity. It stayed a vital stop for pilgrims, and it also became this renowned center for handicrafts. The traditional arts of carving olive wood and mother of pearl just flourished, becoming a core part of the city's cultural heritage that's still famous today.
But after centuries of what was, relative stability, the 20th century brings this period of intense and dramatic upheaval. The very sacredness that had defined Bethlehem for thousands of years would now place it right at the center of the region's most defining conflicts.
The 20th century was just a whirlwind of change. First, the 400-year Ottoman rule ends in 1917. Then, after the 1948 war, Bethlehem becomes part of the Jordanian-administrated West Bank. Just 19 years later, in 1967, Israel occupies the West Bank, putting Bethlehem under military rule. And finally, the Oslo Accords in 1993 established the Palestinian Authority, giving it control over the city. I mean, think about that. 4 different governing powers in less than 80 years.
Now, the period after 1967 brought profound changes. The Israeli occupation introduced significant restrictions on movement for the people living there and led to the construction of Israeli settlements on lands surrounding the city, creating new and lasting challenges for its development and its daily life.
So after that whirlwind of history, where does that leave Bethlehem today? Well, it leaves us with a city that is remarkably resilient, a hub of culture and faith that continues to navigate a really complex present.
Today, the city proper is home to about 30,000 people. And that's a key point. That number doesn't even include the populations of the 3 adjacent refugee camps, which are a really integral part of the city's social fabric.
So what does it mean to be Bethlehem today? Well, it's a mix of things, right? It means being a city governed by the Palestinian Authority, a major global hub for tourism and pilgrimage, and a world-class center for those beautiful traditional crafts. But it also means living with the daily challenges of the ongoing occupation. And above all, it's home to a community that is just defined by its hope and its incredible resilience.
When you really step back and look at it, the story of Bethlehem is this epic 5,000-year saga of human existence. It's about empires rising and falling, about an enduring faith, and about a spirit that has simply refused to be extinguished by conflict or hardship. From its ancient fields all the way to Manger Square, Bethlehem tells the story of tolerance, of challenge, and of this unwavering hope. And that brings us to one final, really important question. For a place that has been a beacon for so long, what does the future hold? And how can its incredible legacy inspire the path forward?